Hello everyone, the MLG Skylander Man 360 here today, and today we are reacting to Shadow versus Sasuke. Sonic the Hedgehog versus Naruto. Why did it say Sonic Forces? But anyway, for my history of these characters, I actually only have watched a few seasons of Naruto, haven't really gotten to a point where he's at. I'm only at like probably season 3 at best. But from what I remember, and this is only my regulation with Sasuke, as like I said, I've only managed to get to season 3. That he attend he attends the Leaf Academy with Naruto and has to be teamed up with him and Sakura. I'm making sure I'm saying that right because, oh my lord, I'm gonna have people on me on this one. Now, this guy does, and what I do know about him, that he does go through some trauma that causes him to leave the Leaf Village and sort of have this whole villain arc in a way, more like not really full villain, more like anti-hero arc in a way, which is kind of interesting. Just like with Shadow, but here's the thing with Shadow. Shadow, well, no, and I'm only gonna say this, I only know Shadow a little bit better in comparison to Sasuke. With Shadow, he was created basically on the arc to what is one of his powers was to help infectious diseases, but as we know the story, one day Gun, the government organization in that world, basically chased down Shadow and Maria, and poor Shadow had to suffer a loss for seeing Maria put down, which actually caused him to have more morals where he hated humans and hated everyone around him. Now, keep in mind there were two of them, so I can't really re can't recollect how far this is with the series. Now, Shadow did have some like amnesia, but then he gained all of his memories back in some way or different ways. But this Shadow was really powerful. He's able to turn super, which really does come in handy. I couldn't tell you what Sasuke could do because, as I said, I haven't seen the series that much for a long while since season 3. Um, to me, this matchup just seems more and is more like these two are anti-heroes in their own worlds. It just depends on which version you use. Which I mean, they're going to use video game version for Shadow probably, and they're going to use pretty much the anime and manga version for Sasuke. So yeah. But with that out of the way, let's begin the reaction. Oh shoot.
The rivalry. They say competition brings out the best in all of us. This is because rivalry isn't hate, it's partnership in disguise. If you want to give it your all and be your best, you need a rival. Shadow has brought out the best for Sonic, and Sasuke has done the same for Naruto. But instead of focusing on what we already know, it's time to enter the unknown between these two counterparts. It's time to rewind Rumble. Many people write off both characters as edgy counterparts to the main protagonist, and while on the surface level that statement does have some truth to it, look between the lines and you'll see there is so much more to both of these heroes. Shadow started his days as an experiment of Dr. Robotnik, not the infamous Ivo Robotnik, but his grandfather, Gerald. The original intention of Project Shadow was to provide ways to develop cures for diseases, to create the ultimate life form. Due to government corruption, the project took dark turns, and Shadow was forced into a life of warfare and mistrust. Sasuke's origin also was one of tragedy. His very own brother holds the carnage of slaughtering Sasuke's entire clan. Because of this, Sasuke has made it his mission to seek vengeance for all the innocent lives lost. Both characters were looked at as villains or threats to society at first. Shadow was brainwashed and used as a biological weapon against the planet, and Sasuke was branded as an international criminal due to going rogue and assaulting others irrationally. But time and reason is a healer of all wounds, and today both Sasuke and Shadow are trusted members of their teams. They are also quite valuable to their teams, as we are about to explain their powers and abilities. With his chaos control, Shadow can bend small gaps of reality and warp it to his will. He can stop time, manipulate matter around him, and teleport such matter to any destination he pleases. He can even use chaos control to heal himself and give himself physical upgrades. Physically, Shadow is capable of nearly matching Sonic's ability in both speed and power. While there is some inconsistency about how fast the two are compared to each other, Shadow has admitted that Sonic is faster between the two of them. Sasuke was intersected with the cursed seal of heaven. When this curse is active, Sasuke's own chakra gets replaced, in turn increasing his strength and speed. He can use all 5 basic natural transformations: fire, wind, lightning, earth, and water. These are self-explanatory. With fire, he can spit fireballs. With lightning, he can create lightning balls, so on and so forth. Most people only have affinity with just one, maybe 2. Sasuke can use all 5 as well as yin release. Unlike the element-based releases, the yin one is spiritual-based. Sasuke is iconically known for his Sharingan, which literally translates to copy wheel eye. Basically, the Sharingan allows Sasuke to physically see chakra, have extreme senses to the point of exact perception, and allows him to copy nearly any jutsu he sees. With this, Sasuke can quickly memorize his opponent's fight patterns. Sasuke also has upgraded sight senses beyond this that allow him to send hallucinations towards his opponents, and has access to teleportation. When it comes to conventional weapons, Sasuke is highly skilled with his sword and blade wielding in general. Shadow, on the other hand, prefers more of a modern approach to weaponry, with his access to many military-grade firearms, grenades, and a motorcycle. This, however, really only covers their base abilities. Both characters have access to more dangerous ways of combat. Shadow, of course, has the mighty Super Shadow. Super Shadow can fly, travel faster than light speeds, has increased durability, and a stronger grasp at chaos control. Sasuke can release his Susanoo. Sasuke's Susanoo is a huge suit of chakra armor that Sasuke can control as if he was an actual giant ninja. Both of these upgraded forms are extremely powerful and tough to beat, but Shadow and Sasuke share somewhat similar weaknesses, which is mainly energy depletion. If Sasuke burns through his chakra, his Susanoo form would not be able to sustain itself, leaving Sasuke at a huge disadvantage. And if Shadow's super form runs dry, or if his chaos control goes out of control, he too can lay down his guard and become an open target. Shadow, the rival of Sonic, and Sasuke, the rival of Naruto, have learned many great lessons when naturally going up against their competition. Both characters are huge risk takers, and neither of them fear danger. The only real difference between the two is that after tonight, one will go down as a victor, and the other will experience true extermination. It is now time we set ourselves a circumstance. The location of this battle will take place in the outskirts of the Hidden Leaf Village with no preparation. This will give Sasuke a home court advantage.
Alright. Yeah, see, I didn't know that. I didn't know that about Sasuke as much as I remember. I know the chakra, which basically allows you to basically use your own jutsus. I mean, the fire jutsu, yes, that's one of the best cores I remember. I just wish there was more explanation to that form that he just had. Like, what was that in that clip? I didn't know what that was. Oh. Like I said, I'm probably getting somewhere, but... I'll have to see what happens next.
Without any preparation, they are on equal footing in terms of mental stability. And now that the circumstance bar has finally loaded, it's time to rewind rumble.
I feel like there was more to that line. I should have turned it up when I unpaused. Oh my lord.
pathetic humans.
Great. Who are you?
I am the ultimate life form.
Oh! Oh, yep. There's the Duke out. Yep.
Chaos Sphere!
Oh, he has lightning too. Okay. Oh! Oh no, he just, oh yeah. He took out the inhibitors. Oh. Oh crap, he's super shadow with the hinders. Oh no.
Chaos Blast!
Oh. Dang. Oh boy. Oh! Jesus Christ. Oh, okay, I have control. Ah, jeez. Damn.
I really hope you enjoyed that animation, and if you did, special thanks to the newest team member of Team Animation Rewind, Dead Graphic. He's a really underrated animator and deserves more attention. We did yet another Sonic-themed fight to celebrate Sonic Forces, and to continue that celebration, be sure to check out Sonichu vs. Cold Steel on the Cartoon Fight Club series at the Animation Rewind channel. The previous Rewind Rumble was Dark Sonic vs. Goku Black. If you enjoy all the effort put into Rewind Rumbles, please consider supporting our team on Patreon, as that is the best way to help us moving forward. Stay tuned for the post-analysis and at the end of this video to find out who's fighting next. Yes, Shadow wins, and you can thank...
Oh. I thought there was no audio, so I was like, oh, wait a minute. Oh, crap. I need to put the... Oh, Lord.
Sonic Forces for coming in the nick of time to secure his win. With that in mind, this
Oh,
segment
damn.
does contain spoilers for Sonic Forces, so continue watching this video
Well,
at
no
your own
spoils at
risk.
this
If you
point.
want to skip
Not
this
for me,
part and
but
just
if
see who's
anyone
fighting
else,
next,
then sure.
you're free to do so. Before we nitpick all the small categories, Sonic Forces gives us one big kahuna that puts Sonic characters in a league of their own. And before this gets wank-like, the villain Infinite nor his main power source, the Phantom Ruby, is not infinite in power. Otherwise, Sonic and his friends would have been doomed. And believe it or not, Base Sonic beat Infinite in a fight. Well, he wasn't alone, he did have help from those Sonic OCs that you could create in the game. Regardless, they were both in their base forms. Sonic and the OC was. Infinite was charged up, yet Sonic won. But that's not because Infinite is weak, it's just that Base Sonic has gained a lot of new upgrades. In the game itself, Sonic even states he gets more powerful every second. And I won't take that literally word for word, but it does make sense that Sonic, like many other characters, do get stronger over over time, which is why modern Sonic is so much more powerful than classic Sonic, and why Sonic Forces should be the most powerful game Sonic to date. The same rules should apply to all Sonic heroes, Shadow included, and Shadow specifically since he can scale closest to Sonic more than any other character in the Sonic universe. This is important to know because the Phantom Ruby has the power to destroy and wipe out entire stars. Eggman made it clear that the star would swallow up the whole planet and kill everyone, but the Sonic OC used the Prototype Ruby to wipe it away. Prototype Rubies are weaker than the pure Phantom Ruby, and yet it still had the power to destroy that star. And before we move on, I need to let the naysayers and doubters know that this does make the Phantom Ruby star level. I know that some people will say that that star in specific was a bit too small, but if you know anything about stars, the smaller a star is, the more powerful it is. That's why white dwarf stars, which are the smallest type, are also the strongest and burn the hottest. Big reds are the biggest, but they're also the weakest. And when stars become so small to the size of a marble, they turn into black holes, which are even stronger than stars. So the smaller a star is, the stronger it is. So if anything, because this star was small, it should be considered more of an upgrade than a downgrade. The average star burns 600 million tons of hydrogen per second, but smaller stars can burn more than 3 times as much, yet we'll still use the average one for easy math. With that in mind, the Phantom Ruby should be able to scale to the energy production of an average star. It took a supercharged base spin dash from modern Sonic, classic Sonic, and the OC to destroy the original Phantom Ruby. And to lowball Sonic, we can assume that all characters put equal effort into destroying the Ruby. Even though Sonic probably put most of the load, we can just assume it's all equal just for the sake of lowballing. This would make all characters multi-planet plus level. It wouldn't be star level because it took multiple characters to do it, but multi-planet plus would be a safe rate to put this feat at. Multi-planet plus Sonic is something that Shadow can at least be on par with. If you don't want a direct scale since Sonic is slightly more powerful, Shadow at the very least should be very close to that multi-planet plus level of power, otherwise known as multi-planet. We can drop the plus if you consider Sonic a little bit stronger. And in the corner on screen now, you can see the best speed and strength feats from both characters, but this multi-planet level base Sonic should be enough to put Sasuke out of reach at his at best moon level or even generous planet level Sasuke, and that's generous. Moon level Sasuke of course does come from scaling to moon level Naruto, and even moon level Naruto is a very dangerous debate in its own because that moon isn't exactly like the moon of our real universe. It's a hollow moon and we don't know the exact size of it, and some people can even argue planet level Naruto depending on who you scale Naruto to, and even then if we go all the way and say single planet level, it's got nothing on multi-planet level. And that was just base Shadow. Let's talk about that super form, shall we? If we use this Phantom Ruby destruction feat and tackle a 1000% super form increase, who knows how powerful Super Sonic / Super Shadow could be. This isn't even beginning to factor Chaos Control in all of Shadow's modern weapons. Yes, Sasuke has teleportation abilities, but since both can teleport and both can teleport objects, this could very likely cancel each other out. Sasuke relies heavily on his chakra, and when he's burnt out, he can become a huge liability, while Shadow is much better in his super form.
You know what, that is really true. He would become more of a true, because, like, I have seen the fact when chakra is basically used up or a point that, you know, the user can't use it, and they need to back off and try to retreat, and Shadow in this situation, because, like I said, Super Shadow, you would have to figure out how many rings he has left in that situation in comparison to Chakra. Or unless Shadow gets tired, and in fact, that also can't happen in the factor of a super form if they get tired.
I'll take a no-energy base Shadow over a no-energy chakra-free Sasuke any day of the week, since Shadow can naturally replenish himself thanks to his gene-repairing anatomy that was given to him during his time in the labs. And I can break down the other stats in each of the boxes into specifics, but that would just add insult to injury, since this Phantom Ruby feat alone would seal the deal. Do we really care how slightly stronger or faster one of these characters are when this one single feat does the sale pitch for us? Without Sonic Forces, this might be a different conversation, but you know what? I gotta include the information that Sonic Forces presents to me. Sorry, Sasuke, but the winner of this Rumble is Shadow. Now, does anyone remember Cartoon Fight Night Episode 1? Well, we will combine the likes of that episode as well as this episode for a new rematch idea, which would be a 2-on-2 between Base Sonic and Base Shadow pre-Forces versus Sasuke and Naruto. This combo would only need 5,000 likes in total, meaning we're just 4,000 likes away. So if this video reaches 4,000 likes, or the combo of both videos reaching a full 5,000 likes, the 2-on-2 rematch between Base Sonic and Shadow pre-Forces versus Sasuke and Naruto will happen. Also, don't forget to comment down your own ideas for either Rewind Rumble, Cartoon Fight Club, or any of the Animation Rewind series, and stay tuned as you find out who's fighting next on the next episode of Rewind Rumble.
The timing of that. The legit timing of that. That, oh my lord. Link, Cloud, Sora Online, Sora, would know. Could not. Meta Knight, Minecraft. Oh, it's Dante, okay. Zero.
Wait a minute. What the hell is High Moon doing to my game?
Swordsman free for all. Ooh.
That's right, up next we have the Swordsman Free-For-All, the best swordsman that fiction has to offer. Now this will be the first free-for-all of the Rewind Rumble series, so expect to see this either late November or early December, one of the two, not exactly sure, but it's going to take at least the rest of this month or most of this month to finish, so about at 15 days at the very least, upwards to 30 days. Thursday, November 23rd is Thanksgiving, so that might be a good time to upload this, but one thing is for certain, I'm not going to rush this episode's production, or any episode of Rewind Rumble for that matter. So while the waiting period might be long, it's only for the better. So please make sure you're subscribed and click that notification bell, since uploads on this channel usually only happens once in a while. Hopefully by around the 4th or 5th episode, I could have a set in stone upload schedule, but for now, it's mainly just once or twice a month.
I didn't realize I was
And
playing. I was like, oh
these
crap, wait a minute. They would have turned that down a
please
bit.
consider supporting the Animation Rewind team on Patreon or through the PayPal tip jar. It does help us immensely, and animation on YouTube is tough in general. If you can't do that, at the very least, please spread the word about this new channel. This channel only has 10,000 subscribers. It really does need to grow so it could sustain itself in the long haul. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. I'm Animation Rewind, and I'll fast forward to you later.
Alright. Like I said, I could see that as a way of, like, coping wise, in which, yeah. I feel like because now that feed has been added, it really, you kind of wonder, well, I really don't think you can wonder now, because I think about this matchup nowadays, it's probably not even close anymore to where Shadow has gotten more abilities and more strength and physicality, in which, to be honest, who do I really think wins? I mean, it is really going to be Shadow, regardless. And next time's going to be a whole swordsman free-for-all, and I got to really think about that one. The thumbnail, though, is going to be a real challenge, but I'll figure it out. I will figure it out. But anyway, guys, if you enjoyed that reaction, please like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see y'all in the next one. Later.